Godzilla's back, and he has come to chew bubblegum and wreck Japan. And he's all out of bubblegum. Hi, my name is Ryan Lane, and welcome to my review channel. So for today's movie, I will be reviewing Godzilla Minus One, directed and written by Takashi Yamazaki and starring, please bear with my pronunciation here, Ryunosuke Kamiki, Minami Hamabe, Yuki Yamada, and Munetaka Aoki. So, following the end of World War II, former kamikaze pilot, and emphasis upon the word former, Koichi Shikishima, played by Ryunosuke Kamiki, finds himself dealing with PTSD, or at least what we would call PTSD. Back then, they called it shell shock, at least in America. I don't know what Japanese phrase they use to describe PTSD over there. Anyway, he is experiencing PTSD and guilt over failing to fulfill his duties, i.e. kill himself, as a kamikaze pilot. To make matters worse, Shikishima is now homeless and only has, well, he's not quite homeless, but his house is not in good condition following air bombings. And to make matters worse, he soon finds himself having to support homeless woman Noriko, played by Minami Hamabe, and her adopted daughter Akiko, played by Ashe Nagatani. Finding himself with nothing but an air-bombed house to his name, he decides to enlist in an effort to de-arm the mines off of the Japanese coast. And unfortunately for him, he ends up having to deal with more than just mines as he encounters the one, the only, Godzilla. And this will trigger a series of events in which Shikishima will need to face his trauma and decide if he wants to protect the future or live for it. Which is, there's a very subtle but very important difference between those two. So let's start with the film's action scenes. The action scenes are a sight to behold. Director Takashi Yamazaki, he does a good job of establishing the sheer gargantuan scale of Godzilla. And the CGI employed to bring the creature life is tactile, yet it never feels overly realistic. It manages to walk that fine line between the campy original rubber suit design of the movies with a more tactile, realistic design. Also making this spectacle even more impressive is the fact that, according to Wikipedia at least at this time, the film only cost $15 million to make. This film manages to make the creator which cost $80 million, look over budgeted by comparison. The film even manages to get its bang for its buck with the production design, as the sets and costumes manage to evoke post-war Japan very well. Everything from the wrecked cities to the ships, it manages to evoke late 1940s Japan very well. And again, like I said, with the scale, the use of buildings and regular, very tiny sized humans manages to help convey to the audience just how terrifyingly large Godzilla is. And also on that note about the action, while there is plenty of action, the film manages to make sure that there's plenty of character development to happen during and between these scenes. So speaking of characters, this movie's effects would mean nothing if it didn't have compelling characters. And this film has them in spades. Kamiki, he gives a solid performance as Shikishima, a veteran trying to overcome his guilt to create a better future for his loved ones and Japan as a whole. Also, Minami Hamabe, she gives a good performance as Noriko, a homeless woman stealing goods in order to provide for her adopted child. Other solid turns include Sasaki as Akitsu, a sailor who is distrustful of the Japanese government yet is willing to risk his life to protect Japan, and Sakura Ando as Sumiko, a Shikishima's neighbor. The director places a lot of trust in in the actors by giving them many takes that are continuous and uncut, and the actors are more than up to the task of it. So the film's political commentary has been updated for 2023. While there is, the obligatory anxiety about nuclear Armageddon within the movie, the film places its focus on other issues, namely the Japanese government's response to Godzilla himself, with Godzilla being a metaphor for disaster. Namely, the film critiques the Japanese response to it, ranging from its over-secretive culture to its casual disregard for human life. And while I highly doubt this was intended by the film's writers, the commentary feels eerily relevant for America's response to the early days of the COVID-19 pandemic. Oh, yeah, one important note about the story is this: there's an actual story. So if you're looking for another Godzilla King of the Monsters, where the film maximizes CGI action at the expense of compelling character drama, you're out of luck. Well, depending on how you define luck, anyway. If you want to get to the fun action sequences, you're going to have to patiently sit through the very compelling, I might add, human drama. Impressive in both its scale and its human drama, Godzilla Minus One reimagines the iconic kaiju monster with surprisingly relevant political commentary. So with all that in mind, I will be giving Godzilla Minus One 4 out of 5 stars. Anyway, thank you for watching. Have a good rest of your day. If you like this review and would like to see more like it, be sure to like and subscribe and leave a comment down below. And for today's comment section prompt of the day, what is your favorite Godzilla movie and why?